5:45. I'm calling to order this public hearing of the City Council of the City of Bandera on the proposed budget. It's okay to stay, Dave. All council members are present with the exception of Mayor Pro Tem Gibson. David Jordan, our new city administrator, is present. Bill Shelton, the city secretary, is present. Will Dietrich, our marshal, is also present. Item 2, the public hearing. The City Council will hold a public hearing regarding the 21-22 proposed budget. David, you want to make a statement about the budget? I mean, we don't have anything current to share with you. Our treasurer has been out since last week and doesn't look to return anytime soon. So we don't have any real present numbers to give you, to update it after all the payments have been made and the revenue's been collected. David, do you have anything to add?
Basically, I have looked at the budget. I have called in the directors of each department and went, line by line. The finance director is out, so she's the number one person I'll still like to speak with and sit down and go with, go down the budget and make sure we have good firm numbers and get a good understanding of where we are. Also, waiting for more input on the city council if they have any concerns or whatever, in reference to putting the entire budget together.
And if you're wondering why we're having this public hearing, because we don't have any solid numbers to share with you, these public hearings are posted well in advance of the date. It was first posted 2 weeks ago, and we were on schedule for this meeting when we sort of hit a block. So that's why we're having the public hearing anyway. The public hearing on the 21st will be a much more informative meeting for any of you who have questions about the actual numbers, but that's where we are today. Rilla, did you wish to?
So I'm to understand that you don't have copies of the budget to give us yet,
That's correct.
okay? Then can I make my other comment?
Sure.
Okay. This is regarding the Zoom meetings, which I use to keep up with what's going on with the city since I no longer come to the meetings as a rule. And the last meeting that you had, I was very disappointed because the council had invited a speaker, a guest speaker, and he was trying to speak, but a couple of the council people were whispering and talking, and it was hard to hear on the Zoom meeting, and I thought that was very disrespectful.
Thank you, Rilla.
Go ahead.
No,
That was the doorbell.
that is all. I just wanted to say that I was very, very disappointed in the council members causing the meeting to be. If you haven't watched the Zoom meeting, you might want to.
Thank you. Billy, did you have a comment?
Yes, I'm very impressed with how respectful you all are today. May have been trouble in another meeting. I do not understand how your administrator looked over your budget, but you don't have the budget.
Go ahead, George, David.
I'm not accusing you of anything, I just thought it was amusing to say that you had reviewed the budget in 3 days.
Right. I reviewed the budget that has been presented to me right now, which we're in a workshop and it hasn't been finalized. So my job as city administrator is to review the budget, ensure everything is, above board, department by department, and present it to the city council for their approval, disapproval, approve some of it, none of it, or all of it. So
They will see it when it's final.
you will see it before it's final. Yes, sir.
That's my question.
All right.
The version that we have right now was produced on August the 19th, and it doesn't reflect the revenue, it doesn't reflect the changes that the department heads in review with David or myself in review with David have made to the budget. So it's not really an accurate document right now. But then until we actually adopt it, it's all just a guess anyway. We have a copy of the proposed budget that was filed with the city secretary, but that was done weeks ago as well. So again, it's just that we're required by law to file it with the city secretary 30 days prior, or we cannot prior to filing it with the county. We have to have at least 30 days on file with the secretary before we can file it with the county. And that one is even less up to date than the one that David has right now. Yes,
Based on what y'all know today, knowing that you're gonna keep the no revenue rate, knowing that you have certified figures from the assessments, what percentage do y'all see your revenues being increased by, just based on those two items, which I know aren't written, at least the rate's not written in stone?
our revenues will not be increased by the taxes. We will not get any extra money from property tax, or that's just, it's a done deal. That's a solid number. It went down from the number that we were praised, it went up. So our tax rate went down, but that number will stay right at $456,000.
And in comparison to last year's budget, you're saying that's essentially the same
It's
number?
essentially the same number.
That's the reason we lower the tax rate, is so the dollar amount stays the same.
I will tell you this in just a brief overview. As it sits right now, and there's still changes to be made, our budget, our total revenue is sitting at about 3.1 million. And I'm really pleased at that number because we've steadily grown in our sales tax revenue and our franchise fees. Franchise fees go up according to our utility bills. So as the city pays higher utility bills, we get higher franchise fees. We've implemented something called a management fee, which is a payment from the utility fund to the general fund for the use of our streets, and that's another $40,000 into the general fund. The general fund is funded by your property tax, our sales tax revenue, the other taxes, our liquor tax, our bingo, we get money off bingo, you know, these different things, and franchise fees. Basically, that's how the streets, the parks, and the city office are funded. The utility side is a totally separate side of the budget, and you're not supposed to be playing with the money back and forth unless there are projects involved, and that's the only time that we do that. But that's funded by your wastewater bill, your drinking water bill, your water bill, your wastewater bill. It's called the enterprise fund. So that is the city's business, and that's the revenue the city gets from its business side. So it's all looking pretty good right now. Again, we don't have any solid numbers to give you, but that's a basic budget 101. Darcy?
Do we have a finite deadline that we have to turn something in to the county or to turn into the state, or we're in trouble?
September 30th, the budget must be filed with the city, with the county by 5 p.m.
The final.
The final version that, and on the day that we adopt the budget, we will adopt the property tax rate, the fee schedule, and the utility rate, all in the, you adopt the budget and then you adopt the things that factor in that compose those revenue numbers. So that's just part of it. We'll do that on September, hopefully by the 25th or so.
Okay, and I asked that question because as somebody that spent a lot of time sitting in those seats, I would be, and as a council person, I'm not happy that we don't have numbers to present to them. I'm not happy that I don't have numbers. And I understand that the financial lady's sick, or isn't in, but I mean, we can't have a hearing and not have something to give people. I mean, what kind of hearing is that? They can't ask good questions. I don't have any information, so if they call me later, what am I supposed to tell them? It's not fair. And it's not right. We've got to do something about that. I don't care if we hire a temp or hire a firm to get in there and look at some stuff, or if David's got to do it. We've got to get these people some information, because it's not right to have a hearing and not give them anything. So we've got to fix it.
I totally agree with you, but unfortunately, as I said before, the budget hearing was scheduled long
No,
before.
I understand that. And we've got 25 days to turn it in, which isn't much, and we've got a lot of budget to go through still. And I need to do a good job as a council person and have accurate information to do the best I can do with the budget, and, you know, and then for us to have a hearing and be able to give them information, but I've got to look at it first.
I agree. I hope that by the 21st, well, I know that by the 21st, one way or another, we will have accurate numbers because we're getting to the very end of the budget cycle at that point.
The 21st?
The 21st is our second tax rate hearing and budget hearing. You'll have numbers long before that.
Okay.
No.
Like I
But,
have
you know,
a job to
we
do.
will definitely have numbers for them that will be fairly accurate to, you know, that what will actually be filed. We'll be in the final stages of getting those numbers together. Yes, Rilla?
I understand what Darcy's saying, and it's a good point. However, I don't know everybody in here, hardly anybody, so I don't want you to make this gentleman look bad, because he just started. It's like falling on him. So I don't think that's fair to make him look bad. People should know, he just started, and whatever you all handed him, that's what he's got.
Thank you, Rilla. I totally agree.
I just say I have reviewed the packet, the numbers and the budget. It's a fluid situation right now, right, with the current budget. So, as I was saying, I've already spoken to the department leaders that are here, and I've reviewed the budget in that area with the number one person, finance department. I want to make sure the numbers are correct before I present to city council, and the numbers are not correct. So that's why I requested to the mayor that, you know, wait.
Ms. James, did you want to address the council?
No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Anything else? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Jerry, motion.
I would like to make the motion to adjourn.
Christine,
Second.
discussion? All in favor? All in favor, none opposed. We adjourn this public hearing at 5:56.